This example will show you how to enter time when you have a schedule in the system. The first thing I'm going to enter is time against a cost center. So I'm going to start typing in the name of the cost center, and notice how they just pull up when I find what I want. I just enter it on my keyboard, and then I can tab across, and now I enter my attendance and absence type. Now this tells the system what type of work that you performed. So if it's an attendance code, then you would enter that. In this case, we are entering attendance because we're saying we put hours against a particular cost center. So I could either use my key and scroll down and find the one I'm looking for, or I can just directly enter it into the timesheet. So 0HWP is what I'm going to enter, indicating that hours were worked. And then the next thing I would do is come over to the day that I'm putting the hours into and entering the hours. I'm going to scroll over here so you can see these. So I put in 8 hours using my keyboard, and then I put in the start time. So in this case, 8 o'clock. And I press enter on my keyboard, and it automatically fills in the rest of the hours for me. It did this because I have time in a schedule up here at the top, and it automatically fills in based on that schedule. If I did not have a schedule, or if you're a positive time entry employee, then the process will be different, and you should take a look at the positive time entry examples. The next thing I'm going to enter is an absence type. So notice up here at the top in the time request, I have a sick day that I have scheduled on October 10th, and this shows here October 10th. So if I were to check my time right now, I would get an error message that shows me I have not entered my sick time or my vacation time for this pay period. So it shows me the pay period right here. So what I'm going to do is enter my sick time, type in an A to pull up absence sick, which is sick leave paid, ASCK. And then I come over here and enter an 8. And all I have to do is enter for absences, full day absences, just enter the hours. I don't have to put a start time and end time. If it were a partial day absence, I would have to put a start time and an end time. So I've entered a couple of examples here. I'm going to go ahead and click the check key, and this check button will double check what I've entered, and it's going to validate that what I've put in is correct. And it's also going to validate that the time requests I have entered up here are showing up here in my timesheet. In this particular case, I had a sick time for 10/10, and that's in here. But I get this message that says a time request exists for the workdate 10/14. So here's that time request for 10/14. But I have not entered that onto the timesheet. So if I come over here to 10/14, I'll see that there's no time entered here. So now I need to come in and enter vacation and put in my 8 hours and hit enter, and I'll check again, and now I won't get that message. I get a message that says no errors were found. When I'm satisfied with the time that I've entered for that pay period, I go on ahead and click the save button, and then when I'm done at the end of the pay period, I come down here to the bottom and I click certify. That will lock my timesheet and tell the timekeeper and my manager that I have reviewed my time and I'm satisfied with what's entered onto that timesheet. If I notice during that pay period before 10/23 that I've made a mistake and I need to go back and make a correction, I can still click cancel, make my correction, and recertify my timesheet. However, if the end of the pay period is already passed, it's after 10/23, then I will not be able to go back in and make changes to my timesheet. My timekeeper will have to do that for me.